Fast forward, you come over channel, you social so I'm say how say GH Politics Avenue. Podcast source and freedom because making headlines. And your general need to be epsomo elha need you near Braxium and the kind of message will be subscribe to the channel. Hit notification bell, share now for front so and start into me and can be. Now, my info in a political highways in Musisi and yes, I'm going to edit them. I say who they call any day, but now anyway, Mustafa Hamid, it me a kupimu a court. One Mustafa Hamid, Obekaya, ye breaking man, say former MPA box, Mustafa Hamid, Kitazishan Prohibia, OSP. See Ejabin at the Intesa Abonum. Say one conspiracy to commit extortion by public officer and using public office for profit gains. No, and such charges see omutimi ekopiemu ewo court and yasem go to Accra. Na papa no court amano bill say CCRD Timia granting bill, despite the fact say na kisi Japan and so it raise allegations be say why flight risks. You can say flight risks are there's a possibility say obetimi adwane efro oman high intinga baya can deny no, but with regards to all this withstandings no court etimi grant Mustafa Hamid bida ene also ko if ene nebusuan for kwa kushim nemo mo besan aba court na ya tran asem no nkasa so we ni nsema ko do etimi pimo court at this point in time mo nwram ne nhwe ne court so ene de bae me da se wetimi agimre ewa aha ase GH Politics Avenue.
And we're starting from the courts for you this afternoon because quite a number of developments happening across the spectrum of different courts in the country. And we're starting this afternoon from the Accra High Court, where the High Court, this afternoon from the High Court, where the former NPA CEO Mustafa Hamid and some 9 others are standing trial. We know that the former CEO of the National Petroleum Authority, Mustafa Hamid, he has pleaded not guilty to multiple charges of extortion and money laundering leveled against him by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. The Special Prosecutor, Kisie Jabi, today told an Accra High Court the accused person obtained sums in excess of 280 million cedis through a scheme targeting oil marketing companies and bulk oil transporters. Joseph Akablay, it's my colleague, is in the court for us this afternoon, the Law Court Complex to be specific. But just before we touch base with Joseph, we just want to run you through again what the details are in relation to this particular matter. As we had the Office of the Special Prosecutor reveal details of for us a short while ago. And so that's the first of the many, of the 10 accused persons. The former CEO of the National Petroleum Authority, Mustafa Hamid, 3 counts he's expected to be answering to. The first is conspiracy to commit extortion. The second, extortion by public officer. And then using public office for profit. Also, we know of Jacob Kwamina Emua is a coordinator of the UPPF fund, is the MD of PropNest, Kel Logistics, Kins Energy. The number of counts or the total charges slapped on him, 18, but let's try and walk you through what some of these are. Conspiracy to commit extortion, extortion using office for profit, money laundering, and then conspiracy to launder money. Then there is Wendy Newman, who's a staff of the audit department of the National Petroleum Authority as well. She is seeing 10 charges in total slapped against her, but they include conspiracy to commit extortion. There's extortion proper, using office for profit, conspiracy as well to launder money. And then there is Albert Ankran, 2 charges against him. He's a director of PropNest Limited. Counts include conspiracy to launder money via PropNest. A lot more individuals. Isaac Mensah, he's also a director at PropNest and Kins Energy. 3 charges slapped against him. The counts 8 and 10 are conspiracy to launder money via PropNest And then counts 24 is Varkins Energy, and that's conspiracy to launder money in that respect. Then there's Bright Bediako Mensah as well. He's a CEO of Propness, Kel Logistics, and Kins Energy. The companies affiliated to him in all of these schemes that the OSP has carefully put before the court. 6 total charges slapped against him, and they include conspiracy to launder money via Propness, Kel Logistics, and then Kins Energy as well. There's Kwekwa Boaji Akwa, 5 charges, conspiracy to launder money, all of that making the 5. Then the entities, Propness Limited, 2 charges, conspiracy to launder money. Then there's Kel Logistics as well, 4 charges against them. And then that they are Kins Energy, the last of the entities, the corporate entity, 1 charge, conspiracy to launder money. Let's take you to the law court complex right now. Joseph Akable is stationed there for us. He's joined us. Joseph, we understand lawyers for the accused persons commented on the charges leveled against their clients when they had the opportunity to address the court. What did they say exactly?
Yes, Marina. Specifically, we commented on the facts that have been put out by the Office of Special Prosecutor. The OSP himself, the Special Prosecutor Kise Jabin, was present in court. And the point that lawyers, particularly for the former NPACO, made to the effect that there were comments which they believe the OSP had made while presenting the facts to the court, and so he had made a statement that the evidence will establish beyond reasonable doubt, and they said that there's nowhere in the facts that have been put before the court that expression is used, and so they don't know why he's embellishing it. That is the word that Paul Abarega, lawyer for the former NPACO, made reference to. He said that he's embellishing the facts that has been put before the court, and that as far as they are concerned, the accused persons have not committed a set of offenses that have been filed against them by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. The court then allowed Kise Jabin, the Special Prosecutor, to respond to that concern, and Kise Jabin made a point that, well, he's simply stating what they will be proving at trial, because he says that all what they have put before the court today are matters that they would have to lead evidence to establish. And so if he says the evidence will establish, he's simply telling the court what he intends to do by way of the evidence that will put before the court. And so that was it by way of the comments that they made on the accusations and the facts that have been put before this court, Marina.
We know that lawyers for Mustafa Hamid and the 9 others pushed for bail. It was subsequently granted. What are the terms, and do we know if the special prosecutor resisted these attempts for bail?
In fact, even before the application for bail will be made, the court inquired from the special prosecutor whether they were opposed to bail, just to inform the thinking of the court and how it handles the arguments that will be advanced. Then Mr. Kise Jabin informed the court that, well, his outfit is not opposed to bail at all. He indicated that the first and second accused person, that includes the former NPACO, had always been on OSP inquiry bail from the onset of the investigation. But he said that the former NPACO is a flight risk, and so he expected that the court should fix terms that are commensurate with the offense involved, and also the possibility that by being a flight risk, there ought to be conditions that ensures that he stays within the jurisdiction. Again, lawyers for the former NPACO were not happy with that comment at all, and they make the point that as far as they are concerned, no evidence has been placed to the court suggesting that he had attempted to flee in the course of the investigation or grounding the claim that he's a flight risk. And so they were at pains to understand why the special prosecutor would make the point that he's a flight risk. And so they made that point. That notwithstanding, the court said that, well, the conditions of the bail are as follows. Mustafa Hamid, a former NPACO, and the other 2 accused persons, making the first 3 accused persons, were granted bail in the sum of 2 million cedis, with 2 sureties to be justified. And so what it means is that they are supposed to find landed properties worth the amount of 2 million cedis and make it available to the court after it has been valued by the relevant state agencies that carry out that valuation. And that is how come we are still here at the law court complex, because that is where the execution of the bill documents is taking place. And Mustafa Hamid's legal team, they are working around the clock to get that sorted out. And so that is it by way of that bill conditions in relation to the 3 accused persons. For the other accused persons, the term is the same 2 million cedis, but they have the option of 3 sureties, which is to be justified. And so that is it by way of their terms. Again, all the accused persons, they are supposed to report to the office of the special prosecutor once within a month, with the case adjourned to the 26th of August, where the court said that the hearing for that particular day will take place online. And so that is it by way of the arrangements that have taken place so far. And so we are still waiting here at the law court complex. We expect the legal team for the former NPA boss to be able to conclude the discussions relative to the bill. Then they will come out afterwards.
Right, Joseph, and we know that outside of this case, today appears to be a very busy day in court, a number of issues as well coming up for hearing. Have we got any updates thus far on some of these other matters, or as we speak, it just has to do with the Republic versus Mustafa Hamid? Because we know that there's a Sky Train as well, Professor Akuffo, then there's the Akuffo case, then possibly the CJ's judicial review. The court is expected to make some pronouncement on the Attorney General's request to have that review thrown out of the court. Do we have any update on any of these other matters?
Yes, so first let's start with that issue concerning the Sky Train. And we know that with that one, the trial was supposed to commence today. That did not happen because of some of the documents that have been filed by the prosecutors have not been served on the various accused persons. And so the court adjourned the matter. I mean, that also drew some concerns from the judge. And the judge was making the point that they give the prosecutors leeway sometimes, and they expect them to be timeous in terms of the processes and ensure service, just to ensure that the trial is able to take off as is expected to. So what we can report as an update on the Sky Train matter is that the trial is here to take off. With respect to the CJ matter, the judicial review application, you know that she's seeking to halt the impeachment proceedings that is taking place at the 5-member committee. We know that the Office of Attorney General have filed an application asking the court to strike out that judicial review application, saying that it sins against the rules of court, particularly because the matter is pending in different forms at the Supreme Court. The update on that case is that the arguments took place. The court has also adjourned to later on in this month to deliver its ruling on that particular request. And the request that the court will be ruling on is whether or not the case that has been filed by the Chief Justice should be dismissed or not. And so that is it by way of updates with respect to the other matters, Mawena.
Thank you very much, Joseph. That's my colleague, Joseph Akable, at the Law Court Complex for us, where we're following not just the OSP's trial or the Republic versus Mustafa Hamid and some 9 others, but there are also quite a number of other cases of interest which he's been providing details of to us. Let's bring you some other matters right now, because Ghana's security agencies are on high alert following the discovery that thousands of rounds of military ammunition have gone missing. The Small Arms Commission says, although it is a difficult thing to do, steps are being taken to trace the consignment and prevent it from falling into wrong hands.
The ammunition, initially under the control of the Ghana Armed Forces, was transferred to the National Security Secretariat in 2024. But over a year later, the rounds remain unaccounted for. What was supposed to be a controlled transfer has now been described by the Defense Ministry as irregular and unexplained.
We have kept our nation safe and stable, notwithstanding the irregular transfer of thousands of rounds of military ammunition in 2024 from the Ghana Armed Forces to the National Security Outfit. Ammunitions which have since not been accounted for.
According to the Executive Secretary of the National Commission of Small Arms and Light Weapons, Addo, the situation has forced security agencies to activate cross-agency collaboration to trace the ammunition amid growing fears of diversion or theft.
It could be theft, could be diversion, it could be all of the above. If you ask me, it could be all of the above. I mean, theft would mean diversion. Once you steal, what do you call it, ammunitions from a state, guarded armory. The only reason why you want to steal them will be because you want to divert them into unscrupulous people's hands. And so we are working with all the other security agencies in ensuring these things. So we are helping in finding where these munitions would be.
He adds the development has set off alarm bells beyond Ghana's borders, as there's been a wave of concern from neighboring countries and partners across the continent.
I have received calls from the sub-regional colleagues who are also interested to know how can they help to trace some of these ammunitions if it has entered into their territory. And so it is our mandate as a commission to ensure that we fight together with our colleagues in the sub-region, on the continent, across the world.
The commission insists that tracing the lost rounds is difficult, but not impossible, and that efforts are ongoing to track down those responsible to recover the missing stock.
It can be pretty difficult to trace these firearms, the ammunitions. But the truth is that I want to believe that there should be information with regards to who was in charge of that these armories where the ammunitions were kept and where they left, which vehicle moved them, and which place did they go to. Someone would have put in a requisition for the ammunitions to have left where they were kept. Someone would have, loaded them into the truck. Someone would have known how many ammunitions. It might be difficult, but it is possible to trace this ammunition.
Let's bring you some more stories, because Interior Minister Muntaka Mohammed Mubarak is asking the security agencies to work hard in tracking down the killers of a local tribal chief in the Ashanti region. The late chief, who also served as the Kadi Divisional Chief in the Binduri district of the Upper East region, was gunned down on the night of Tuesday, the 22nd of July, near the Asawase F-Line Community Center. According to multiple reports, two men arrived at the scene on a motorbike at approximately 8:40 p.m., one of them said to be armed with an AK-47 rifle, opening fire on the chief before both assailants fled. Earlier this morning, MCE for Asokore Mampong, Ben Abdallah Al-Hassan, led members of the assembly to commiserate with the family of the deceased and assured them the perpetrators will be brought to book. The police have also issued a statement. Let's take you there right now, where my colleague Ibrahim Abubakar is stationed and on standby. Ibrahim, provide details for us how the Asokore Mampong community is reacting to this news.
Shocking incident to them. They are in a mourning state. A lot of them are behind me. But Mauna, where you see the women are seated, that is.
Oh dear, does appear. We may have just lost Ibrahim briefly with respect to the connection. We will work on that, have him rejoin us and provide details. But it has to do with the gunning down of a tribal chief in the Asokore Mampong municipality and Asawase constituency to be specific. And there's been reactions from the Interior Minister. That's his constituency, as a matter of fact. The MCE for Asokore Mampong as well has been speaking and reacted to the development. And the police as well have issued a statement asking that they will hunt and track down the killers of the area. But let's listen to the MC of the area speak to my colleague Ibrahim Abubakar Ben Abdallah.
This is very tragic, extremely tragic, and I extend my heartfelt condolences and that of the President of the Republic, as well as the Honorable Member of Parliament and all residents within the municipality, to the grieving family. I will continue to urge calm and ask that they allow the security to finish the investigations and be able to unravel the circumstances surrounding this barbaric act. And so I urge calm, and as Municipal Chief Executive, I'm also in communication with the security chiefs, and I'm getting the briefing And but investigations are still ongoing, and we urge that they exercise some calm and restraint as we go about with the investigative processes, and surely justice shall prevail in the end.
Other traditional chiefs as well have been speaking to this matter. Let's hear from them as well.
Yeah, we are telling them to calm down. But the youth, you know the vibrancy they are. At times, if the proper thing is not done at the right time, a time may come we may not be able to control them. So that's why we are pleading to the police, Minister of Interior, they should fast track things so that justice will be administered at the right time to be able to calm down things. If not, then meaning we may not be able to control.
Ibrahim Abubakar is back with us, this time on the phones. Hopefully, the connection to him is better. Ibrahim, you were seeking to paint a picture.
So, Addo